Hey cats, what's happening? I have a new home. I've been hanging out here in the Hemi. This has been my home for the past few days since before the celebration. Yeah, we had the celebration last weekend and it was very successful. It was a wonderful time. I think there had to be at least over 120 people that showed up. And we put a pretty good dent in that pig. So it was a lot of fun. And I think everybody enjoyed the time together. I had family come in from all over the place, so I've been kind of running back and forth, juggling between, my brothers and my other family members. My stepdaughter and her family have been in the house, and they got the toddler. So I told them, I said, you know what, you can have the house, and that way they got everything they need. I'll just stay out here. And I've been enjoying it out here. It's really nice and comfortable. We had the celebration of life on Saturday, and I put a lot of hard work into that, building up to that. With starting with the invitations, the invites, and then just going on from there and planning everything, securing everything, and everything, all the other details involved in it. So I was thinking that somehow in the back of my mind, I was thinking that it would somehow bring closure. But, I realized very quickly that you can never bring closure to someone that you loved so dearly. And I love Valerie so much. She'll always be in my heart and my soul, and I can never forget her. So life goes on. Now that everything's over with, I still have some family in town through the following week, so we've been busy doing a lot of things, still running around, and life's been good. It's nice to have that support from family and friends, and I truly appreciate it. And with all that going on, I just keep getting, text messages and calls from my brothers, and hey, what are you doing today? We got one more day here in town, and then we're flying back. What are you gonna do? And I've kept my phone, with me all the time, and it's made me kind of ponder today what this thing really is. And when I first met Val, I didn't have a cell phone. I had a phone in the house with an answering machine. So if you called me and say I didn't answer, you could leave a message and I could beep, hit the thing and listen to your message, and then I could call you back if I felt it was worthy. Then I met Val, and she said, you don't have a cell phone? No, I have no need for one. I don't want one. I've never had one. I don't want one. And she insisted that I get one. And so I went out and got a cell phone. I just set a little flip phone. And at that time, it wouldn't even work here on my property. I had to go 3 miles down the road to get reception to get my flip phone to work to where I could make a phone call. So I wondered, at that time too, what's the use? Why do I even have this stupid thing? I gotta get in my car, drive 3 miles down the road just to make a phone call on it. So, yeah, as time went on, the phones advanced. We kept buying a upgraded phone, and now I got an iPhone. I don't even know what model it is, a 10 or an 8 or a 12 or who knows. Because I've had this one for a few years now. But the interesting thing that I see with myself, and I'm sure you can concur the same, I am like attached to this at the hip. I panic if I don't have it with me. I'm always afraid somebody might be texting me, somebody might try to call me, I might get a new email. I can't be without this thing. It's like part of me now. And it's ridiculous that that has to happen. Um, it's communication in a way, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, people like to communicate with you. They like to let you know what's going on. They like to know how you're doing. So there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just something that we never had before. You know, when I was a kid, all we had was a phone on the wall, and it had about a 8 foot cord on it, and that's where you made your phone calls, and you could only go as far as that cord would stretch. Uh, and even then, it was called a party line. So you could be talking to someone, and someone on that line, say one of the neighbors or something, could pick up the phone and listen to your conversation. That's the way it used to be. Very primitive back in those days. But now we got these phones that are actually more than a phone. And this is the scary thing to me. You know, I have my computer up in the loft in the house where I do all my editing and stuff. You know, and it's a big desktop computer with the monitor and everything. But this little thing, this little phone right here, can do more than my desktop computer. I can make phone calls with this. Not only phone calls, but I can do FaceTime where I can actually see your face on here while you're talking to me. I can check the weather. I can do math on here with my calculator. I can answer any question in the world, or ask any question in the world, and it'll come up with some kind of an answer for me. I can watch movies, videos, read emails, send text messages and read text messages back and forth. When I take a hike, it'll track my steps. It'll tell me how many calories I'm burning. It'll tell me what stars are up in the sky. This thing can do more than you can even imagine. I mean, I can just keep going on and on. It's just... And all of that fits in this little tiny thing. That's just beyond imagination to me. Who would have ever thought? The worst thing about it, though, is, you know, when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do, there's a text message right now that just flew in. See, that's what I'm talking about. And it's my brother from southern part of Ohio. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is grab my phone. Even before I put my socks on, brush my teeth, or whatever, I have my phone and I set it right next to me, just in case somebody would try to call me that early in the morning. I have the phone with me when I have my breakfast, and after my breakfast I sit down with my phone and I probably spend 2 hours just reading emails, looking at text messages, checking my Facebook to see who's doing what on Facebook, maybe watching a YouTube video of somebody that I'm subscribed to. And then I realize at that point, oh my gosh, half the day's gone already and I've done absolutely nothing. That's 2 hours of my life wasted every day, every morning. That's 14 hours a week of my life wasted every day, every morning. And that's just in the morning. That doesn't include anything I do later in the day, which I do later in the day. And the process is almost repeated at night before I go to bed, because I'll sit there playing on my phone, looking at things, playing games on my phone before I go to bed until it tires me out and I fall asleep. So the social media thing, this technology thing, has kind of robbed me of my life in a way. You know, God's given me so much talent. I have artistic talent. I have carpentry skills. I have been gifted with common sense, and I know how to do things, how to fix things, how to repair things, how to build things. But I spend half my life now with this. Just rotting my time away, which means when I'm on this, I'm sitting, I'm inactive, I'm not getting any exercise, I'm not getting my heart rate up. I'm not, it's not a healthy thing in any way, shape, or form. Well, what do you do? I mean, as the future progresses, now they're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, which is, you know, 100 steps up from this, where computers will run companies and stuff because they've been programmed with all the information they need to make snap judgments, snap decisions, which, from all the information that's been programmed into them, they can assume that it's the best decision, the best way to go. Now, you know, when you put that in charge of a great corporation or a company or anything, where you're going to let a computer make decisions for you, at some point or another there's going to be a big failure. You know, when it crashes, when it fails, there's going to be some problems. That's the other thing I have to assume too, that one day, and I don't know when it'll happen, it might happen, 100 years from now, but everything's going to crash here, and you will no longer have any electricity. You won't have any way to charge these things. You won't have any cell towers anymore to program. They'll be worthless. And people have been so dependent on these, on this technology, that they'll be totally lost. They won't even know how to survive. They won't even know how to live. That's the sad thing. Well, those were just my thoughts today that came upon me, when I was sitting there this morning, and I'm looking at my phone, and my house guests are in the house and they're around there, but no, I'm absorbed in my phone instead of spending time sharing with family. My stepdaughter and her daughter and her son. What the heck? What throw it away. I can't do that. But you get the message. Well, thanks for watching. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to have you join me on this ride. After this week, I'll get back into the norm again, and looking forward to getting another couple of good motorcycle rides and that are already set up. So I'm excited about that. In between, I ride the bike whenever I can, but a couple of fun, I guess, group rides you'd call them. And whether or not those will be filmed or not, I don't know, because like I told you before, some of my friends just don't want to be on the camera. You know what I mean? I mean, some bikers are like that, like don't film this, we don't want to be on the camera, it's just us riding. So we'll leave it that. Alright, cats, until next time, ride hard and die free. Gotta get up and do something here. Wait a minute, I gotta check my message.